Imagine waking up one day and finding out that the government sitting thousands of miles away has decided to control your land, tax your daily life, and make rules without asking you. This is exactly how many people living in the American colonies felt after 1763. Britain had just won a big war against France. On the surface, it looked like a victory, but behind that victory was a huge problem. Britain was drowning in debt. Someone had to pay for it. The British government looked across the ocean. They saw the colonies as the perfect solution. They believed the colonists should help cover the cost of the war. They also believed colonists should pay for the soldiers sent to protect them. What Britain did next may seem small at first. It was just a few new laws and taxes. These decisions slowly pushed the colonies toward anger. These decisions also pushed them toward unity. These decisions pushed them toward resistance. This short period between 1763 and 1766 would change history forever. To understand why things went so wrong so fast, we need to look at both sides. For many years, the American colonies had enjoyed a lot of freedom. They managed their own affairs. They paid local taxes. They rarely felt the direct hand of British rule. Most colonists still saw themselves as loyal British subjects. They were proud of their connection to Britain. After the war, Britain changed its approach. Britain wanted tighter control. Britain wanted more order. Britain wanted more money. New rules started appearing. For the first time, ordinary colonists felt British power in daily life. These changes created confusion. These changes created frustration. Colonists were not asking for independence yet. They were asking for fairness. They were asking for a voice in decisions that affected them. This growing gap set the stage for protests. It also set the stage for resistance. It created the first cracks in the relationship. In 1763, Britain won a major war against France. This war was known as the 7 Years' War. The victory gave Britain more land. It also gave Britain more power. It left Britain with huge debt. The war had been very expensive. Britain now needed to protect its new territories. This meant keeping soldiers in North America. The British government believed this protection was for the colonies. They believed the colonies should help pay for it. This marked a big change in British policy. The first major step was the Proclamation of 1763. This law stopped colonists from moving west. It stopped them from crossing the Appalachian Mountains. Britain said the law would prevent conflict with Native Americans. Britain said it would keep peace. Colonists were angry. Many had fought in the war for land. Some had already bought Western land. The law felt unfair to them. It felt controlling. Colonists felt Britain was limiting their future. They felt their sacrifices were ignored. Soon after, Britain introduced the Sugar Act of 1764. This law placed taxes on sugar and molasses. It also taxed other imported goods. Britain said it wanted to stop smuggling. Britain said it wanted to raise money legally. Prices increased for colonists. Trade rules became stricter. Merchants were hit hard. Ordinary people felt the impact. These taxes were decided in Britain. Colonists had no representatives there. This was the first time many colonists questioned British authority. Colonists had always paid local taxes before. Those taxes were approved by colonial assemblies. Now taxes came directly from Parliament. Colonists asked an important question. How can a government tax people without their voice? Resistance was quiet at first. People complained. People wrote letters. People debated in town meetings. Distrust had already begun to grow. In 1765, Britain passed the Stamp Act. This law required stamps on newspapers. It required stamps on legal papers. It required stamps on contracts and licenses. It even required stamps on playing cards. This was the first direct tax on colonists. Almost everyone was affected. Colonists were furious. The tax was imposed without consent. The phrase, "no taxation without representation," spread quickly. Colonists believed only their assemblies could tax them. They were not against paying taxes. They wanted a say in decisions. Protests broke out across the colonies. Crowds gathered. Speeches were made. British officials were threatened. The Sons of Liberty formed. They organized resistance. Stamp distributors were forced to resign. Colonists boycotted British goods. British merchants lost money. Merchants pressured Parliament. Colonies began working together. They shared ideas. They supported each other. The Stamp Act Congress was formed. Representatives met together. Resistance became organized. By 1766, Britain faced serious problems. Trade had dropped. Unrest increased. Parliament repealed the Stamp Act. Celebrations erupted in the colonies. Bells rang. People cheered. Britain passed the Declaratory Act. It said Britain had full authority. Colonists felt uneasy. Trust was damaged. Resistance became a tool. The colonies did not seek independence yet. They questioned British rule deeply. These years planted the seeds of revolution. It became a fight over rights. It became a fight over power. It became a fight over freedom. Britain believed it had authority. Colonists believed loyalty needed fairness. Colonists learned to organize. Colonists learned to protest. Colonists learned unity had power. The tension did not disappear. Britain was not ready to give up control. Every new law was questioned. The revolution did not start with weapons. It started with frustration. It started with broken trust. It started with a demand for respect. The path to independence had quietly begun.